during the Joseon Dynasty, only kings and nobles could enjoy. I like milk, give me more. Hello. Well, anyone hated drinking milk growing up? In Korea, during school lunch, plain milk will used to come in small cartons, and as kids, we would put chocolate or strawberry powder like these. It's like Nesquik to make it taste better. And now if you walk into any convenience store in Korea, you'll find entire section filled with milk, like the plain ones over here, or strawberry, chocolate, or coffee. And there's some like hectic flavors like melon or tiramisu or even mint chocolate. And I guess all those flavored milk all started with the banana milk I mentioned in previous episode. But today, let's take a step back and see how Koreans started drinking milk in the first place and how eventually it took such a huge part in Korean food culture. So way long before we would have milk for lunch, during the Joseon Dynasty, milk was used for medicine or tarakjuk. Tarakjuk is basically milk porridge that only kings and nobles could enjoy. And for everyone else, milk was something that they would never see in their entire lifetime. There is a scene in K-drama series called Mr. Queen where she makes itangyeon gnocchi. And the other servants thought she was making the royal milk porridge tarakjuk, and they were surprised how much milk she uses. And that shows how much milk was precious and rare for them. So how did milk end up in school lunches? Well, that started in 1970s when president of that time, Park Chung-hee, made milk consumption a national thing. He even brought 200 cows from Germany to start local dairy. And that's when schools started offering milk to children every day. But honestly, at first, people didn't really like it because it smelled strange and the taste itself was unfamiliar. And most importantly, at first, many people were lactose intolerant, so they couldn't even digest milk. So in order to change that, there is one company that came up with a brilliant idea, making a banana flavored milk. Back then, bananas were still a luxury fruit, so adding that flavor to milk made people feel milk something new and fancy. It completely changed how Koreans felt about milk, and for the first time, it wasn't something you had to drink because they just gave it at school, but something you wanted to drink. And ever since the success of that banana milk, many companies started experimenting with all sorts of flavors, like the ones I mentioned earlier, including mint chocolate and tiramisu, but even like tangerine and taro and sweet potato. So that's how milk went from more nutrition-based to flavor-based, and it became more like a dessert than a simple drink. So today, I didn't just want to drink milk on camera, so I just brought a couple snacks in Korea that we pair well with milk. It's like a Korean version of Oreo and milk. So first of all, we have this hoppang that I introduced earlier, and second, there is just this chestnut. In Korea, you can see them in these packages, and it's a really good snack and it's good to carry around, so I usually bring it with me when I'm driving. And thirdly, I have these sweet potatoes. Like, you can think of it just like oven yam, but unlike the Japanese yam, this is like less sweet. So sometimes I feel like it's more addicting because it's not that sweet. So first, let's try this hoppang. Just like last time, I brought two types, the red bean and the veggie. And I don't know if you remember or watched my episode about hoppang, but this is not only sweet, but all the bread kind of makes your mouth stuffy. So I think it's a really perfect balance with the milk to balance out that sweetness and make it less fulfilling. And this milk, the coffee flavor milk, is my favorite out of all the flavor, including the banana. And even as a kid, when other people like usually have the banana milk after going to a public bath, I used to have this, and this was my first choice. And taste-wise, it's kind of similar to those like the Vietnamese very sweet coffee. The second one, the chestnut, what I like to do is I get the plain milk and then pour it over the chestnut. I will smash the chestnut and then eat it up together, and then that will taste something like a chestnut latte. If you add a little bit of sugar or honey, then it's like perfect chestnut latte. So you just smash it up like this and then get a scoop of the chestnut and the milk. So it's not one of those like flashy dessert, but it's more like simple. And I think it's perfect at like around midnight when I don't want something too heavy and just fulfill up my stomach just a bit. And it's quite addicting too. And last, I want to introduce this sweet potato. And I want to say this is one of the very first like street snacks in Korea. animation a lot in Korea. It's called Black Rubber Shoes, and it's a perfect animation for showing how people were living right after the war. And even in that animation, you will see people buying this sweet potato on the streets, or sometimes even on a truck. There will be this driver on this radio like shouting that he's selling the sweet potatoes, and then if anyone hears that, they will come out and gets their snack. And again, this isn't some kind of like a fancy dessert, but more like a classical Korean nostalgic snack. And now having these all three together makes me realize that milk really pairs well with those classic Korean snacks. And now I want to show you this Korean version of Nesquik. It's called Jetty. And I thought it would be interesting to show you guys because it's not one of those powder forms, and it's my first time also trying it. I've only seen it on like TikTok and shorts. Basically, it's in a straw form, and there will be like some candies or bubbles that will make up the flavor. Just like these. And when you suck up your milk, the milk will get through these pebbles, and then the flavor itself will change. So let's see if the straw version is as good as the powder ones. It is harder to drink, but surprisingly, I do taste that perfect strawberry milk. Let me actually compare it with this one. Now, is it just me, or do you guys also see those like the small pebbles already gone? Half of them I think are missing. Surprisingly, I think the straw is sweeter than just this packaged strawberry milk. And then the same with the chocolate. I'm thinking that it will taste pretty similar to the powder one now that I had the strawberry. It's working. I do taste that the Jetty powder milk. I mean, this is so cool. I also wish I had one of these when I was in school. So we went over Korean milk, and I think those like little stories of childhood when we were in school and getting that powder Jetty or the milk exploding in your backpack. I think those kind of memories make it really nostalgic. And there is even this little cute song, I think it was for that same company, the Seoul company. It's like where the song goes, I like milk, give me more. Anyway, I think all those kind of things, like the simple and cozy memories make you feel at childhood. Now there is a whole series of milk-based desserts in Korea, including pure milk ice cream, milk bingsu, milk pudding, or even milk donuts. And I guess that's something we can maybe explore another time. Today, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with another food. Goodbye!